Good day, everyone. Today we are going to discuss our accounting project. So let us introduce ourselves first. My name is Lim Shui. My number matrix is 304909.
My name is Narli Salim, and the metric number is 305503.
My name is Chong Sin Tong and metric number 304543.
My name is Nurisha Atika and metric number 304745.
My name is Lisa Wen and my matrix number is 304433.
Okay, let us start our project discussion. Let's start with the part A first. For part A is giving an unadjusted trial balance, and then there's instruction here. We have to prepare the statement of profit or loss and other comprehensive income, statement of changes in owner's equity, and also statement of financial position for Masmara Enterprise. Let's look about the trial balance. For the sales return and allowances, sales discount are going to the statement of profit or loss, and also the cost of merchandise, so also used in that statement. This is all located in the profit of loss statement. We have to find the gross profit first, so we can use the sales, deduct the sales return and also the sales discount. After that, we will find the net sales, and then we still have to deduct the cost of merchandise sold only to find out the gross profit of the statement.
Okay, then when we create the profit and loss statement, the important part to focus on is the expenses, like the statement shown. And this section shows all the costs involved in the running business, which will directly affect how much profit is made. So we can see that we got advertising expense, depreciation expense like office equipment, depreciation expense like delivery rent, and also repairs and maintenance. Okay, so we go to the next part is the sales salaries expense, sales supplies expense, insurance expense, office salaries expense, office suppliers expense, and also the rental expense, utility expense, as well as the interest expense. So these expenses have to total up. So in order to get our total expenses and also the net profit. Yeah.
Okay. So this is the elements we have stated in the statement of profit or loss. And then let's look about the statement of changes in owner equity. So for the statement of changes in owner equity, we have to use the capital as the beginning capital. This one has to be used in the statement in order to find the capital in the December 31st. So we use this capital.
And add the net income that we have to calculate.
Yeah, the net income will be found out through the statement of profit or loss. And then we also have to deduct the withdrawal, which is 23,500. And then we will find our final capital in 31st of December in 2023.
Yes.
Okay, so let's talk about the financial position.
In the financial position, from the first, we have the component of assets, which is property, plants, and equipment. So we can highlight from the trial balance, which is from cash until the accumulated depreciation of delivery rent.
Okay. For the liability part, it starts from the account payables until notes payable.
Okay.
Yeah. It needs to be summed up to get the liability.
So in this case, we will total up the total assets, which is the property, plant, and equipment, plus with the current assets. So we can get the total asset. In the next part is the liability, right? So we can total the liability start from the current liability plus the long-term liability, right, Nisha?
The current liability consists of account payables, salaries payable, interest payable, and unearned revenue. So all of the components added together to get the total current liabilities. And not payables is long-term liabilities. So to get the total liabilities, we have to add total current liabilities and not payable to get the total liabilities amount.
And in the owner equity also, we will input the capital. For all this, we'll get a total amount. We can find that the asset amount will equal to the owner equity and the liability.
Oh.
All right.
For the asset, I have a little bit blur. How to find out the long-term asset for the property?
Yeah, from the long-term investment, we'll add the office equipment. but we will minus the accumulated depreciation office equipment to get the net amount of the office equipment, and also the delivery van we will always minus the accumulated depreciation of delivery van to get the net amount of the year.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. And
I make a small summary. Okay, so for this one, enterprise is called Masmara Enterprise. So after we do this one, we can see this enterprise whether it's performing very well or what. So just depends on the net income of this enterprise and the growing capital. Yeah. So maybe can by managing the expenses or reducing the sales returns. So like that. So the company can maybe further improve the profit and ensure the long-term goal.
okay, so let's go to the part B.
For part B, we need to explain the impact of omission, overstated, understated, or correctly stated under the reference of the element in the accounting equation of Mesmer Enterprise. A depreciation of the office equipment and delivery van for the sum of 35,000. For me, I think the net income is overstated because when depreciation is not recorded, it means the company has understated its expenses. Depreciation is an expenses, so not recording it result in higher reported profit. This means the net income is overstated by 35,000. Then the next expenses is understated. Next is asset. Asset also overstated. For the liabilities, it's correctly stated as liabilities such as account payable or loan are not affected by depreciation. For part B is unpaid salary of 20,000. The net income is also overstated because if unpaid salaries of 20,000 are omitted, expenses are understated. So seller's expenses should include these 20,000, but since it's not accounted for, the total expenses are reduced. So the expenses, it will be understated. Next is asset. The asset is correctly stated. Lastly, liability. The liability are understated.
Okay. The statement of C is the available balance of office supplies in hand was 300 ringgit. The office supplies available balance of was 300 ringgit, but was mistakenly recorded as 4,000 ringgit in the trial balance account. So by failing to adjust actual amount on hand, asset and expenses are affected. Office supplies overstate and expenses related to supplies used understate, which is net income will be overstate and the liability is correctly state. And the D, so a total of RM7,800 of the unearned revenue was realized. So here need to adjust for unearned revenue. 7,800 ringgit of unearned revenue has been realized and should be recognized as revenue. If omitted, the revenue will understate, which lead to understate of net income, and liability overstate, and expenses correctly state, and assets also correctly state. So next we continue with Tom.
Yeah, number E, which is the question, the sum of 14,500 insurance has already expired, which means this record represent and expenses should be recorded, but if only the prepaid insurance which is the asset is overstated, so impact on the accounting equation, it will cause the net income and owner equity to be overstated because the prepaid insurance has already decreased. So in the liability part is correctly stated, will not affect the liability part. So in the owner equity will be overstated. So in the net income, it will be overstated because the insurance 40,500 insurance already expired has been recorded. So that in this case, we know the prepaid insurance is overstated in net income.
So I will explain the F question. So assume that the billing department forgot to send the invoices to a customer for a total sum of 24,400. So I will explain step by step. So the first one is the net income. So it will cost the net income understated because the unrecorded revenue of 24,400 will directly causes the net income to be understated because the revenue is missing from the income statement. So missing revenue reduces the income. So the net income will understated. And the second one is about the expenses. So expenses will correctly stated that stated. So the third one is will cause the assets understated. And the last one is will cause liabilities corrected stated.
Okay, for the question G, interest revenue of 15,800 was not recorded. I think this would make the net income understated because since revenue will increase or decrease the net income. So if the interest revenue was left out, was not recorded, the net income will understated due to the missing out of the 15,800. And in expenses will correctly stated since it's not having any connection with the interest revenue. And for the assets, it will be understated. And for liability, it will be correctly stated.
On number hash, supplier invoice amounting to 135,000 was misplaced and only recently discovery. So in the net income will be overstated because this amount forgot to record and to do the calculation. So will be overstated in net income. And in expenses will be understated. In the asset part will correctly stated. So in the liability will understated.
Okay,
that's all for me.
So let's go to the part C.
Okay, for part C, as we all can see, based on the above situation, we need to discuss and advise the temporary enterprise. First is the appropriate credit term to improve, increase sales or revenue. Do you guys have any answer for that?
So for improved account receivable collection and inventory management, the company could can use shorter credit period, which is implement a 15-day credit term instead of traditional longer terms like 30 days, like net 30 days. So it can help the company to improve account receivable collection, customer with a reasonable payment time frame, while ensuring the company's cash flow.
Early payment discount, we can advise Thundery Enterprise to introduce 2% per 10 net 30 day, which is customer will receive a 2% discount if the payment is made within 10 days, while the full invoice amount will remain due within 30 days. Within 3 days, they cannot receive a 2% discount on the purchase. It will help the customer to encourage them to make a quickly payment and reduce the amount receivable there for the enterprise.
So for the instruction 2, we have to give the appropriate shipping term to improve. I suggest this company to offer free shipping for bulk purchase. For example, we can do free shipping for order over like 500 ringgit. So this could attract the customer to purchase in larger amount of the goods. So, and by promoting the bulk purchases, this also will boost the overall sales volume, not only the average order value. And this, for the credit management perspective, this will reduce the credit risk for the company because the number of transaction and credit account may be reduced. By using this way, with larger and less frequent purchases, the company can streamline the account of receivable process, and it can focus on the collecting fewer and higher value of the invoices. So this can improve the efficiency and effectiveness for the collecting process. And it also touch off with the inventory turnover time. It will reduce it because the inventory can move more quickly. So we'll reduce the holding period for the stock and also lowering the storage cost. That's all from me.
All right. So maybe I add on some lah. So from a shipping perspective, transitioning to the FOB, we call free on board shipping point terms is a very advantage because this policy shifts the responsibility and maybe the shipping cost to the customers one goes leave the warehouse. And by transferring the risk and shipping cost burden, and this enterprise will reduces overhead and minimizes the potential losses during the transit. So FOB terms enhance the efficiency and lower operational expenses and also align with the company's objective of expanding the outlets while managing risk effectively. So I have to make a small conclusion. So maybe by adopting this credit and the shipping policies, the company can improve the sales performance and enhance the credit management as well as the better accounts receivable collection. And these strategies not only support the company's expansion, but also contribute to the long-term financial stability and operational efficiency. Yeah, that's all for me. Thank you.
I think that's the end for our discussion. Okay, thank you, everyone.
Okay.